Good evening, everyone. I welcome everyone to Science Sanje. Today's talk is by Dr. Belle Damodara Shenoy on the topic of growth of fungi in human life. Firstly, a little introduction about today's speaker. Dr. Belle Damodara Shenoy is a principal scientist at CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, Regional Center Vishakapatnam, is renowned for his expertise in mycology. With a PhD from the University of Hong Kong, he has an extensive academic background, including an MBA in marketing and a postgraduate program in digital marketing. Dr. Shenoy has also completed a senior management program at IIM Kozhikode and holds teaching qualifications from the University of Hong Kong. His career spans various roles, culminating in his current position at CSIR. Dr. Shenoy has achieved notable recognition in the scientific community with 45 publications, an H index of 22, and over 3,000 citations. He has supervised multiple PhD students and co-founded the journals Micro-Asia and Micro-India. His work in the microbial diversity, genomics, and taxonomy, combined with his commitment to mentoring young researchers, marks him as a distinguished figure in his field. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Shenoy to Science Sanje. Today's talk will be for 45 minutes, followed by 15 minutes of question and answer. I request the audience to please put your phone on silent for the duration of the talk. Now the talk, role of fungi in human life. Thank you.
Everyone, namaskara. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be mixing both Kannada and English languages. Though my Kannada is not that great, I'm not used to giving talks in Kannada, but I'll try my best. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಷಯ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. Importance of fungi in our daily life. So it will be a very simple talk explaining simple things in simple language using some beautiful images. First of all, let me welcome you all to the world of fungi with the use of these photos. Then you must be wondering, this guy is talking about fungi and he's showing the photo of this mushroom. How mushrooms are connected with fungi? So that's an important question. ಅಣಬೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳು ಒಂದೇನಾ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ? Okay. Some more beautiful pictures of mushrooms. So here you find different kind of fungus. When you see these are also fungi, anabegalu. Here you find typical fungus on a strawberry. How different is this from the previous one? So that you will probably get some ideas at the end of this presentation. So this is a common sight in our household. But not a very pretty sight. I said welcome to the beautiful world of fungi, but this is not very pretty or beautiful in any sense, unless and until you remove the human-centric perceptions, right? So these are some fungi on artificial media, actually, like very small structures. Okay, as I was introduced to, thank you very much for the kind introduction. I work at Vishakapatnam. I work for central government funded central government research institute, CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography. It's a sister lab of your own CSIR, CFTRI. Okay, our headquarters is in Goa. I thought I would start speaking in Kannada, but somehow I am not able to pick up the flow. Probably at the maybe after 30 or 50 slides, I should be able to do it. Our headquarters of NIO is at Goa, and we have 3 regional centers. And, 3 regional centers are 2 on the west coast of India, at Mumbai and Kochi. The third one is on the east coast of India, Visakhapatnam. I meant Vishakapatnam. You might ask, Yanabegu ಮತ್ತು ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಎಂತ connection, right? Of course, we find fungi in oceans, in sea, on beaches, but probably you wouldn't find mushrooms in oceans. You find sea mushrooms, but they don't belong to kingdom fungi. Those belong to kingdom Animalia. The structure is same, but they belong to different kingdom actually. So that's about the connection between mushrooms and oceans. But I use mushrooms as a vehicle to promote mycology. See, if I start talking about microfungi, which are very difficult to see in normal day-to-day life, and it's not easy to convey the message about mycology, with the help of microfungi. If I talk about simple things, what you see in your garden, like mushrooms, colorful mushrooms, beautiful mushrooms, and macroscopic, the big you can see in your naked eyes. Therefore, I use mushrooms as a starting point when I try to convey about mycology. Why do we need to promote mycology? First of all, there is very little understanding of mycology in among general public, and we celebrate the World Fungus Day for that purpose on 2nd October. The purpose is that we understand that mycology is not that much appreciated, that's not appreciated because it is not understood well. And the mycologists have the duty to explain mycological concepts, mycological issues about fungi in simple words to common people. Not only common people, even non-mycology people, physics people, chemistry people, engineers. We need to explain what are fungi. So that's the purpose of me coming over here, and thank you very much, Dr. Sri Palekala Sharma, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I thought I would give full Kannada talk. I am not able to get the flow right now. It's okay, I guess I'll get going soon. What is the talk about? ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದೆ, that is the first segment of the presentation. ಎರಡನೇದು some technical aspects about mycology. What are fungi in technical terms, and some other stuff actually. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಈ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಏನು? ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you think nuisance, poisonous. Before we judge it, we should understand what are fungi. ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಸೊ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಲ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 8ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಾಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಬಾಲದ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನು ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ. ಓಕೆ, that's the first thing. Shilindra means fungus. Okay, anabe, those are mushrooms. I think these are very simple things, but people confuse. Hindiಯಲ್ಲಿ fungi ಅಂದ್ರೆ fungus ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕವಕ, and mushrooms ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುಕುರ್ಮತ. ಕುಕುರ್ಮತ I think ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. What is ಕುಕುರ್ಮತ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಯಿ ಸುಸು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. कुकुर मुद्दा, जहाँ कुत्ता सुसु करता है वहाँ मशरूम सूखते हैं, इसलिए कुकुर मुद्दा. So that is not really, those mushrooms are not really appreciated in that sense, as food also. So in many groups of individuals, many communities, mushrooms are not treated as vegetarian food. I will tell you why in the coming set. Simple agi fungus singular, fungi plural. More pronunciation irbodu actually. Fungi the first pronunciation. When I was doing my PhD, my postdoc mentor, my PhD mentor was a British guy, so he would pronounce it as fungi. Fungi. When I went to Canada for my postdoc, he used to say fungi. Then I realized there is one more pronunciation, fungi. So there could be three pronunciations. That all these three means same actually. Okay, they mean the group of organisms which belong to the kingdom fungi. So what is meant by kingdom actually? So I will explain that in later. It's not like they have their own armed forces. It's like a biological kingdom. So general perception and fungi and nuisance, as I told you, very poisonous, very allergy causing, allergenic. But whether all the fungi are poisonous, whether all the fungi are useless or disease causing, problem causing, but I would like to highlight through this presentation that many of the fungi are very beneficial to human life. I mean, maybe you are aware of it. Probably I will try to highlight it in the presentation. So, ನಮ್ಮ mushrooms, ಅಣಬೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳೇ. Okay, ಅಣಬೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ, they are not biologically different. I will tell you the difference, structural difference later. Okay, molds, bread ಮೇಲೆ boost ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್, boost ಅಥವಾ ಬೂಸು. So that is also ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ, ಅವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳೇ. Yeast, ನಮ್ಮ beverage industry ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ yeast powder ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಅವುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳೇ. So practical purposes, I have divided fungi into three groups: mushrooms, ಅಣಬೆಗಳು, molds, boost ಅಥವಾ ಬೂಸು, yeast. Of course, yeast. I don't know any Kannada word is there for yeast. Yeast. Okay. So let me give some more details about three practical groups. Mushrooms. What are mushrooms? ಅಣಬೆಗಳನ್ನು without any microscope we ನೋಡಬಹುದು, right? So these are macroscopic. We don't need microscope to have a look at their structures. They are bahukoshiya. I mean, I don't know whether there is, this word is very familiar. Bahukoshiya is multicellular. Their body is made up of many cells. So these are the two important features of mushrooms, a kind of fungi. Second group, molds of boosu or boost. Okay, these are multicellular. They are bahukoshiya, but they are sukshmadarshakīya. Andre microscope. You need good microscope to have a good to get a good understanding of their structures. You see, this is a mold. I think this is a I think it's a penicillium species. I think bread ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ಲೂ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಹೀಗೆ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. Therefore multicellular and microscopic. ಮೂರನೇದು yeast. Mostly they are unicellular, ekakoshiya. When they divide, they become bicellular, dvikoshiya. So, and of course they are microscopic. So these are three major groups of fungi as per my classification for general purpose. So I have taken 10 minutes. Good, I have got some 30 more minutes. So let me give some examples. Where do you find fungi in our day-to-day life? Okay. Second wave of COVID wave actually. So you might have heard about black fungus. Yes. I think that was the link between. I think that was the strong link between Dr. Palegala Sharmaji and me actually. So he put something on Twitter in 2020 when I was in the hospital in Hubli about black fungus, and I commented something there. That's how we connected and we continued this association. That's about the connection between me and Mr. Sharma. But the problem, what I'm trying to say is that the black fungus is not a correct usage. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ the concerned the fungus is not black, it's hyaline, colorless. But the symptoms caused by the fungus are black. Therefore, black fungus was incorrectly used. So, correct word is mucormycosis. Actually, mucormycosis. If you look at the kind of poor understanding even the journalists had, later on they started using the words like yellow fungus, green fungus. I don't know, so many different kind of fungi they started. But those are almost they meant nothing actually, right? That shows the poor understanding of mycology, especially medical mycology among general public and the common. So when somebody gets mucormycosis, that's a big news because during COVID second wave, 5,000 people died of it, and many people got mucormycosis. But in every day you get skin diseases because of fungi, right? It's very common and it's not a big news, right? But it is very annoying thing to have a skin disease caused by fungi. Athlete's foot. I'm from coastal area. I spent 25 years of my life in coastal area in Udupi. During monsoon, this is a common sight. At least in my house, Nanjua, right? So these are caused by fungi. So these are the names of fungi: Trichophyton, rubrum, blah blah blah. Okay. And this is one more. Okay, so these are caused by what we call keratinophilic fungi. Keratin, any material rich in keratin can be attacked by this fungi or can be used as a substrate. Keratin can be used as substrate by these fungi. Uru, Udalu, Gorosu, I think in donkeys and even cattle. Kumbu. So all these keratin-rich materials are used by fungi, and actually they cause this kind of disfiguration, discoloration and disfiguration. Overall structure changes. These are the names of fungi. Very complicated to probably pronounce, but these are important in terms of epidemiology. This is a common site, and this is a microscopy. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You need a microscope to get a good idea about their very clear structures, right? So it is a species, probably a species of penicillium. This is a bread mold. Okay, then similarly you have citrus mold. Okay, but not. Here in these cases, these fungi use this material, these fruits, bread as substrate. But in this third example, we eat mushroom, eat fungi. These mushrooms are fungi. So here we consume mushrooms. So it's like tit for tat. Okay? And okay? So I'll give more details later. ಹಾಲಿನ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಪಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. So just Google it and find out. And fungi makes cheese, especially Swiss cheese. In the Swiss cheese making, they use penicillium species to ripen the cheese. So fungi make cheese. Yes. So ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳು ಅಣಬೆಗಳು ಖಾಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಈ ಮೂವಿ, Planet Fungi Northeast India by Stephen Axford, Australian photographers Stephen Axford and Catherine Massey. ಅವರು ಅಸ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಶಿಲಾಂಗಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಸುಂದರ ಅಣಬೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, and it is freely available. That will actually give good idea about the beauty of fungi, especially mushrooms, macroscopic. Now I'll go towards some technical aspects, difficult aspects to explain, difficult aspects to understand. But probably it will be harmless to probably have this conversation about the basics of mycology. ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳ ಜೀವಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಅಂಶಗಳು. Basically, I will explain fungi in technical terms. So, if we represent all the living life, a living organism on this earth in the form of a tree, what we call tree of life. So that will be the structure of tree of life. Okay, and where do you find fungi or mushrooms? Below the animals. Yes. This is the branch of fungi and mushrooms and all Shilindragala clade. Okay, here you have animals and here you have plants. If you did BSc, you studied mycology of fungi in botany, right? But if you see the recent evidence, fungi are closer to animals than plants. Should we study mycology in zoology then? No, because fungi have their own kingdom. They should be taught as a different subject itself, not under botany, not under zoology, or not under microbiology. So that is the need of the hour, because fungi are the poor cousins of bacteria and viruses in microbiology. That is the real problem. So this is the evidence for that animal and fungi are closer. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಈ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಮೇಲಿನ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜೀವ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಯಾವುದು? Which is the largest living organism on this earth? If I say fungus, would you believe that?
Yes.
Yes? Wow. Maybe till 2022. Let me explain. As per the Guinness World Record, till 2022, this fungus, honey mushroom, was the largest living organism on this earth. The mushroom is how can it be the largest living organism? Simple question. Mushroom may be very small, but underneath what you find the mycelial network. If you don't know about mycelia, I will explain in coming slides. The network of these mycelia filaments, that actually occupies some 1,350 football stadium. That network of mycelia covers the area of 1,350 football stadium. So this was a Guinness Book record. The fungus being the largest living organism on this earth. But then the seagrass actually became the largest living organism. But still, this particular mushroom, honey mushroom, is the largest living fungus on this earth. And it is reported from the United States. Okay? Interesting, right?
Yes, sir.
Today we see lots of plants around, probably not that many mushrooms, especially not giant mushrooms. ಒಂದು ತೆಂಗಿನ ಮರದಷ್ಟು ಉದ್ದ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, right? ಯಾಕೆ? But if you see the fossil data, of course, it is believed that life originated in the sea, right? And then the life came onto the land. Who came onto the land first, plants or fungi?
Fungi.
Wow, very good. Here you go. The fungi came onto the land, and the evidence suggests that there were these giant mushrooms were there before the plants came onto the land. And these mushrooms were like 8 meters tall. And this 1.8 meters. Imagine 8 meters tall mushrooms present in the olden days, ancient earth. But after that plant came onto the earth, there was a competition for the nutrients. Of course, now we don't have giant mushrooms, but we have mushrooms. But the top giant mushrooms are not there. But the ancient world probably was full of giant mushrooms. Probably because it's based on the fossil data. We cannot be 100% sure, but we have some fossil data to support that. All right?
Sir, what is it? Sir, this picture. Sir, this picture.
This one?
Sir, this.
This is the evidence for the giant mushroom. Fossil data.
Okay. He is actually searching for fossils. Fossils are usually present in stones. Okay, so he is cutting the stones to see what is inside. That's called picking stones.
I got 20 more minutes and I have some more things to cover. I hope I am not boring you. Okay, thank you for that. Now the technical definition of fungi in Kannada. Okay. Okay, I use ChatGPT and Google Translate to translate this. Fungi, Shilindragalu, eukaryote. I mean, it's a very technical term. Bacteria and archaea are prokaryotes. All the other life forms are eukaryotes. Basically, nuclear envelope is very definite in eukaryotes. That is more complex, more sophisticated covering of the DNA material, genetic material in eukaryotes. And ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಡ್ಗಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ದ್ಯುತಿ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶೂರ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ದ್ಯುತಿ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ nowadays. There are no fungi don't photosynthesize. Basically, they do not use carbon dioxide to produce glucose, right? That's because the absence of plastics actually. ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳು ಪರಾವಲಂಬಿಗಳು. So somebody suggested this word. I used heterotrophs. They said the Kannada word is paravalambi. Okay. Basically, when they cannot produce their own food in the form of glucose, they have to use other materials as substrates, dead materials like dead logs or dead skin or dead or living also sometimes. So these are paravalambigal, heterotrophs. They are osmotrophic. Now aharavanu saves or hೀರಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. They use enzymes, osmotrophs. There are many more aspects, but let me just go to the next slide. So I was talking about mycelia. What is a hypha? What is a mycelia? Right? This is a very technical thing. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, that's a fungal spore, ಬೀಜಕ. I don't know how many people use the word ಬೀಜಕ. Bija also. Bija is seed, but it is like not really bija, so it's bijaka. Okay, that's the spore. And when the spore germinates, it's a fungal spore. I mean, it's a graphical representation. When a fungal spore germinates and it elongates, that becomes hypha. The fourth one, the elongated structure is a hypha. Then these hypha interconnects to form mycelium. Multiple mycelium become mycelia. When I was talking about largest living organism, I was talking about the mycelial network covering 1,350 football stadium, that kind of area. I was talking about this kind of, I mean, this is a graphical representation. The mycelia would look different compared to this graphical representation. So these are the basic components of fungi: spores, hyphae, mycelia. All the other structures come from this. So this is a very imaginary presentation of the fungal spores for the imagination, just to get your attention. So now, for practical purposes, I divided fungi into mushrooms, molds, and yeast. But what is the what is the scientific classification? So before 1970, in 1970s, fungi were grouped under plants. I told that fungi are still being taught in botany, and of course, in olden days, fungi were taught in botany too. So, in the classification system, fungi were grouped under plants, a subkingdom under plants. That's enough for the classification, and we now have our own kingdom for fungi, and the definition is based on the DNA data. Okay, that is a little bit complicated for you. So, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? Like what is the population of India? Like 1.3 billions. We are the largest we are the most populous country in the world actually, right? So that an individual is a unit, right? The ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ unit is not very easy to define. So we take species as a unit. Species, ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳು ಇರಬಹುದು? So how many species of fungi could be there? I mean, nobody has documented how many are actually there, okay? But there is an estimate that there will be at least 15 lakh fungal species on this earth. And we mycologists have so far discovered and described only 2 lakh species of fungal species. And where are the remaining 13 lakhs? Where are those? Ellidavu. Mysore ಇದೆಯಾ, ಮಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸಮುದ್ರ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸಮುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಹಿಮಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? Basically, we need to discover more. We need to get into discovery more actually to reach at least 7 lakhs records of fungal species. So I told you there could be 15 lakh fungal species, and we have discovered 2 lakhs of them. And there could be 27,000 mushrooms. What are mushrooms? Mushrooms are nothing but fruiting bodies of fungi. Mycelial network, they form the fruiting bodies, beautiful fruiting bodies which release spores for the propagation. Those are mushrooms. So there could be at least 27,000 species of mushrooms. So far we have discovered and described 14,000 mushroom species. ಈ 14,000 ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಿನ್ಬೋದು? Because as man we are very practical, right? We want to know what is the benefit of these mushrooms to us. This is a list. This is a paper which actually make list of around 2,100 mushroom species. Those are been proven to be edible. Out of 14,000 mushroom species described so far, only 2,100 species are kind of proven to be supported with data for their edibility. So how about the remaining? 14 minus 7,000, around 11,900. So how about them? Are they edible? Are they poisonous? I mean, we don't have concrete answer. We don't have any conclusive statements to make about them. So basically, edibility is mostly a trial and error thing based on the field exposure. Deepak is there actually based on the field experience. ನೀವು ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಗದಿದ್ರೆ ರೆಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಅಡಿಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸೈಡಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. That is how the traditional knowledge of mushroom edibility has grown, right? There is no standard scientific method to tell this mushroom is edible and this mushroom is. We often get this question: how do you know this mushroom species is edible and this is poisonous? They may look similar.
So by the tests.
We don't have any standard tests. Only the traditional knowledge and documented information in the literature. Based on that, this paper was published. So if you find on Google this species is edible, and if you eat another similar looking mushroom, you may be in trouble. Similar looking mushrooms may have different effects. One could be edible, another could be poisonous. But don't worry, we have some 60 varieties of edible mushrooms, and that's a big business. And I'll tell you, that's a big business. Means every year the world produces around 20 million tons of, I think it's not million tons, it's metric tons. I'm not very sure about the unit there. The world produces lots of mushrooms for eating. These are edible mushrooms I'm talking. And China contributes around 70%. What would be the India's contribution? Any guess? 70% is China. The remaining 30%, what would be India's contribution?
25.
No, just 2%. So India is a big country. We can produce more mushrooms. We can not only eat in India, we can export it to other countries and make lots of money. In terms of money, there is a potential to make at least 50 billion US dollars. That is the market value of the mushroom market actually. So we can make lots of money selling mushrooms, not only in India, outside India. But we have to compete with giants like China, because China has a great history of mushroom cultivation. If you go to Northeast India, they are very good with mushroom cultivation and edibility compared to other non-hilly regions of India. So these are the safe to eat mushrooms, 18 types. Very popular in the world, 18 types. These are the names: cremini, morel, shiitake, oyster mushroom, king oyster, lion's mane, enoki, white button mushroom, portobello, porcini, maitake, matsutake. These are Japanese names, the last two, okay? Reishi mushroom, reishi. I think it's popular now. These things, it has got very beneficial effects. Especially you go to internet, you find many mushroom selling companies sell this reishi as very magic kind of mushroom, not magic, very medicinal mushroom. And the giant puffball, shimeji, juice ear. You can use juice ear in soups. Not in normal restaurant. In normal restaurant we use only button mushrooms. Okay, you get button mushrooms for 50, 60 rupees for 250 grams, right? But these are not that common. In India, we eat mostly button mushrooms, though other varieties are picking up. Of course, fungi are perceived to be destructive, but especially because severe plant diseases in plants. But I would like to highlight here that they also collaborate with other life forms. For example, fungi collaborate with the roots of plants and they form mycorrhizal collaborator. They are called mycorrhizal fungi. So they actually help in the plant growth, plant defense. And lichens, here is the collaboration between fungi and cyanobacteria or algae actually. So these are this could be a good indicator of climate change, right? And have you heard about penicillin? No. So actually, penicillin was actually firstly extracted from a fungus, Penicillium species. The name of that fungus is Penicillium rubens. When I was a student, it was taught that Penicillium chrysogenum. Actually, Penicillium, one more name was given. Now the the correct name of the penicillin producing strain is Penicillium rubens. This is the strain used by Alexander Fleming. I'm talking about 1940s during Second World War. It saved many people's lives, soldiers and also horses, I think. You should go to YouTube and read about it. There are very interesting stories. This is how the fungus looks on the culture media, and this is the microscopic structure of Fleming's penicillin producing fungus, Penicillium rubens. So penicillin is not the only molecule that we get from fungus. There are many molecules. This is a list of molecules, drugs from the fungi. The future is about psychedelic compounds from magic mushrooms. So what is this magic? Actually, they can help you, potentially help you treat drug-resistant depression. These some mushrooms called psilocybin and all. They produce some psychedelic compounds, the compounds which have psychedelic effects. They actually affect your brain. That can help you in treating drug-resistant depression in humans. That's the future for drug discovery in humans, for in mycology. So I think I'm going to finish in 5 minutes. I think that's nice. If you are keen on fungi, these are the pages, social media pages for it. Planet Fungi, I was talking about the Planet Fungi in Northeast India. So if we have a page, Planet Fungi, they put beautiful pictures from all over the world. And Stephen Axford and Catherine Massey. Fantastic Fungi, there was a movie. How many of you seen this movie, Fantastic Fungi? It was there. Of course, some mycology or mycophiles, definitely. But common people, if you are not from the mycology field, I think this movie was available on Netflix. I'm not sure it's still available, but have a look at it. It's a very beautiful movie about fungi. This movie is also equally beautiful, and as this is from Northeast India, definitely you will connect with it better actually. And every year we have this fungal film festival, like you have IFI in Goa, right? International Film Festival. So we have fungal film festival. Not offline, it's online actually. So you can follow this page and you can watch some interesting movies about fungi. I'm not sure very entertaining, but probably some bit of information and some kind of education. Yeah, thank you very much. I thought I would try to speak in Kannada, but 99% I use English. But I hope I was able to convey the message here. I would like to thank the organizers, Science Sanje, all the people involved there. And I'm very much grateful to Sri Padekara Shamaji for inspiring me to get into science communication, trying to convey the beautiful world of mycology of fungi. to non-experts using social media, offline events and online events. And of course, my organization, National Institute of Oceanography, they've been quite supportive. And my students, PhD students, my collaborators, and I have taken lots of pictures from this canva.com. You might ask me, give me a photo that because those are, many of them are not my photos, but I use Canva premium version, pro version. So a wonderful audience here. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೇಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. I am open to questions. Thank you very much. Sir.
ಒಂದು ಸೈಕೆಡೆಲಿಕ್ ಫಂಗಸ್, ಸೈಕೆಡೆಲಿಕ್ ಅಣಬೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಸುದ್ದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ?
I think there's reishi, Anaderma lucidum, right? Deepak? It's not psychedelic, it's medicine. It boosts your stamina and all those stuff actually. But it's not very easy to eat. It's not very kind of edible kind of thing. It's medicinal actually.
So you said it's a living organism inside largest because of the underground structure. Covering so many football area.
Yes.
So once one from the above the ground, what is the purpose of such a large network beneath the ground? Is it a root network or what?
I think they are the original owners of this earth. They are watching us underground.
So what
Because I told you they came from the sea, from the terrestrial system before the plants, and they were outbeaten. They were like they lost the competition, and they probably are still underground and connected, and they are kind of a communication channel and spread all over the world.
Let them be underground, let them be because they never exist. My question is, one living thing above the ground. Why does it require so much of network below the ground?
Probably it has got the opportunity to cover so much.
Why is it necessary?
See, because science doesn't answer why, it can answer how. How is a very philosophical question.
Those are actually when we see banyan tree, we see so many large trees. They have so many large root networks. Comparable to their size above the ground. This is incomparable, unimaginable.
Yeah, therefore,
Yes, I think there is a reason. There is a reason. There is a reason.
Reason for the existence.
Basically, you have the existence is as far as much as they compete with others, they can survive, they survive. But then why don't they grow so big above the ground is a point. Where because the plants need to grow up to get the sun. Okay, they survive only on others. So whatever is available there, they do it. But interestingly, that person also asked, it's interesting that there's one more question that I want to ask.
and before that, I want to say that there's a big project going on. People are taking soil samples from all over the world, and they're trying to understand if fungi living in the soil and are they interconnected. They are proposing the mycelial network as being similar to internet network of the world. So they communicate with each other. And you ask me why, I don't know. Yeah.
So the other person. Okay, yes, yes.
Sir, scientifically, is mushroom vegetable?
Okay, what is vegetarian? I mean, that's mostly a colloquial thing, I think, vegetarian or non-vegetarian. We can describe it as photosynthetic or non-photosynthetic. But strictly speaking, anything which uses sunlight is vegetarian. Otherwise, therefore, as per the traditional definition of the common people here, but in Karnataka or some parts of India, mushrooms are not vegetarian. Therefore, many people refrain from eating mushrooms. And they go near the place where presumably exaggeratedly where the dogs were in research. That is also not very helpful to promote mushroom consumption in many parts of India. Yeah.
Sir, the mushrooms are used for the drugs.
Yes. Lots of them. And the future is about one of the future possibilities I explained. the psilocybe genus, some members of genus psilocybe, they produce some chemicals, they could be used as a drug in future to treat drug-resistant depression. So, so after some time, the drugs become ineffective in case of depression. But these psychedelic compounds can be used as.
So what I think that the doctors will tell that you eat that. So vegetables and spinach is like that. But the doctors, why do not they tell eat mushrooms?
That's a good question. I don't know why doctors are not advising people to eat mushrooms. First of all, I think if you see the mushroom edibility, consumption is more popular in Northeast India. Probably if you talk to doctors from Northeast India, probably they might advise. Not sure in other Mysore. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you talked about the subterranean networks of fungi, and you talked about California. This US is very large. Why don't we find that kind of a large network in tropical countries like India or Africa? Are there such large networks?
I mean, considering the activeness,
Because I think that more mushrooms we can find in these places, but then the network is small.
I think we are talking about one species here. Okay, one species spreading across an area equivalent to 1,250 football stadium. So they did the genetic analysis and proved that it's the same species. Otherwise, these mushrooms produce mycelia, they interconnect probably, sometimes they talk to each other, they form an underground network similar to internet. But why can't we find it in India? I mean, I don't know. It's waiting to happen. So.
Maybe because of diversity.
So diversity of life in India is, I mean, whatever it is happening underground, right? I'm not sure about it.
It's a question for Bhavya.
Yes. Hello. Artificial photography effects, and colorful eroded. Just to get your attention so that you can ask questions.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, when I go in the walk, I get some mushrooms. How can I get that are eatable or not eatable?
It's a very routinely, frequently asked question. Deepak gets that question every day. He's Deepak Gowda. He runs mushroom company, and very often we get this question. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಈ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ದೆನ್ ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದರ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದರ ನಂತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು ಇದು ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಅಥವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ very straightforward. I wish there is a method, there is a platform which can give instant answer. We don't have it.
Sir, on the basis of the photos which Google shows that which are eatable and both the same can be eat.
No, never do that. You'll fall in.
Any test conducted regarding this? Because ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್.
I think they are trying. There was one paper. I think my personal view is that in future, as we get more data from the mushroom, their genetic makeup, their their metabolic profile, and as we are embracing artificial intelligence, machine learning, based on all this data and the models, probably we can predict the poison toxicity or poison or edibility based on some modeling. But there wouldn't be any definite way of telling whether it's edible or not unless and until an expert tells you.
ಕೆಲವು ಹೇಳಿರುವಂತ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಇಂದ ಭಗವಂತ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. You advise what is this skill? You advise consumption. So there's a convention which is going on with these things. Even my daughter speaks and she eats. So
I mean, I did not eat mushrooms for, so I'm still here in front of you giving a lecture, I'm not sure.
ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ
I think mushroom as a food, it's good in fiber, vitamin C, and it's tasty for 1 or 2 times and within the limit actually. And we need to explore more types of mushrooms other than button mushrooms. When I went to Thailand, I tasted almost 15, 20 different kinds of mushrooms. So North Indian, Southeast Asian countries have the culture of eating mushroom for centuries and centuries. They have traditional knowledge. I don't know, do we even have traditional knowledge for mushroom edibility in India? We have TKDL in CSIR, that's a department which records the traditional knowledge. I suggested this to our TKDL head. We are better to get some good response for it.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about poison mushrooms, is it just stomach ache or something like that, or it's much more serious? How does it manifest itself?
I think some of the species can be very neurotoxic. Not just the stomach upset.
How long does it take to be?
How long, I'm not sure, but death from mushroom poisoning, I think if you read newspapers from Assam, every year some 10-15 people die because of mushroom poisoning. And if you ask me how long they took to die, I'm not sure, but they were hospitalized, it should be more than 24 hours, untreated.
Sir, algae fungi are different.
Algae and fungi are different, because algae phylogenetically related, they belong to the plants, and fungi, mushrooms and the fungi are the different separate kingdoms. But if you see the tree of life, you have animals, below that you have fungi, and other side you have plants, and algae belong to plants.
Algae is a plant.
Yes.
You would say algae is photosynthetic, fungi is not photosynthetic.
Algae is green, sir. That is green.
Photosynthetic, what is aerobic?
Yes.
Sir, one of your slide presentation suggests that algae, fungi first invade multiple terrestrial habitat of the environment. So, being a fungi, being a heterotrophic or saprophytic, how can it depend on without any vegetation area to nutrition?
I think they
Before plants birth on the supply ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there must be some sort of nutritional basis on this.
they probably use these rocks and other minerals, inorganic probably. I mean, this is based on one small feeble fossil data, actually. So it could be wrong too.
Sir,
Yes.
is it possible for fungi to grow in the cold places?
Yes. Yes. Fungi can grow in cold conditions. And I work in National Institute of Oceanography, and we collect sediments from 5 kilometers below the sea surface. Yeah, and it's very cold there, 4 degrees Celsius. And the pressure is around 500 atmosphere. And the fungi grow there. Fungi can be extreme, they can be extremely. Of course, they grow in Antarctica. We can find them.
Also grow in the very hot.
Yes, they can grow in hot springs also. Yes.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ?
I think ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು, ಬಟ್ ಹೊಸ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್, ವೇಗನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್. They claim that they don't put any chemicals. I think there are some traces of chemicals. I guess. I think if you find the label organic on the label, you can make a guess that they might not have used the chemical. But who is going to go to their factory and check? Yes, Deepak.
Sir, when a plant grows, there's a natural limit to like how tall it can grow, how many years it can share. And it's the same for animals. But for fungus, is there any limiting factor? The fungus can only grow this much. Because the question that Madam was asking was also related to that. Like, why does it grow so big? Is there any limiting?
I think mushrooms are like your Deepavali bulbs. We use it once in a year. And for in case of mycology, in case of mushrooms, they are used to produce spores and all. But the underground network is permanent. How permanent? Like in this case of honey mushroom, Armenia, it is believed that it is older than Christianity. That's what one of the newspaper cites. That means basically that older than 2,500 years, probably based on some metals.
So as long as it has food, it will just keep growing and
If they are interconnected, if they are collaborative, probably they can live long.
Probably because of the networking nature. So basically, so one part if it dies, the other part will still be surviving. So that may be one of the reasons why it is.
It's still a mystery why this fungus has been living for 2,500 years, at least 2,500 years. I don't know why.
Is there any study on the life cycle times of this fungi? Anywhere, east we have, but others?
Yes, I mean the mushrooms normally the mushroom production normally what they grow in the lab, like do it yourself kit mushrooms. I think they take some 10 to 15 days. Afterwards, it's gone. Then the second harvest comes. So each edible mushroom has some life cycle. Time limit is there, and it's well recorded for edible species. The data is available on the internet, I guess, or in scientific literature also. Yes,
What are the black fungi symptoms?
they make your nose black and the buccal cavity destroyed, many more things, and it also affects your neural nervous system. And some people have lost their eyes. It invades because it invades anything which is rich in sugar or.
Sir, naked.
Let me congratulate Dr. Shenoy for his brilliant lecture. I thought it was very interesting book. I am a mycologist, not pathologist, in the University of Mysore. It is a very interesting book of organisms. See, we have one aspect. The problem in mycology, we have a disease on Gulmarg. Yeah, they're very popular tree. Thousands of trees are. Not a single tree student is problem. Because our forest department and the corporation and the assessment, they prove the tree, branches, and the branches are not good scientifically. In their concept, removing a branch from the mother tree is good, but there is science in it. You have to be proper. As a result of anti-pruning, cavities are on the inside. You just go and see. You have to be in the corner of that this this hall. In the corner there is no good quantity. 3 years ago I observed one fungus dandruff and will also form. I may not be there, but the tree will form. Because once it appears in the beginning of the end of the tree. Could be a disaster in a local area, about 13 trees. Our people operate and they don't listen. A good listener is the best speaker. They don't have time to listen. Who care for this? There are doctors dealing with the health problems of human beings, clinics, thousands speakers. We have veterinary doctors. How about plant health? Who cares? We lost the loss in terms of the loss around 95,000 crores every year. As per the Niti Aayog 2015, huge loss is incurred, and our needs are in trouble. We are supposed to be a doctor, and today we say patient. Today medicines are obtained from neem oil. Neem oil is used to coat the urea so that nitrogen is released slowly into the plant. Government of India is very keen, but it's a problem. We have a problem in Tamil Nadu, it's a problem in Andhra Pradesh. Question. Due to fungal disease, Phomopsis, we named the fungus as Phomopsis azadirachta. It's a new input published in current science, whereby in 1993, You show me a scene with immediately without problem. They're all appearing burnt. You need fire to a leaf of the drain leaves, what will happen to the above person? Great.
I agree your sentiments. I would like to add here,
Yeah.
We have similar problems in mangoes. We have collected so many mango samples from the west coast of India, from Ahmedabad to almost Devgarh, Ratnagiri. We get these culture symptoms and alternaria ones. And where do you find the new varieties of mango? Who will develop that? This is someone has to work on it.
Our Areca cultivation in South Kerala and parts of Kerala, they did check if you cultivate.
One more issue, I recently received message from one fisheries expert. They said one microsporidial form. Now the microsporidium is a fungal species. Microsporidium is a part of kingdom. So this one species of microsporidium. It's an intracellular parasite of some fish, and they are losing fish harvest like anything because of the fungal. And they are asking me how do I control. I mean, I'm not sure I'm a pathologist in that sense. Because it requires a different aptitude and different skill set actually to be able to provide solution to that problem.
Control.
Analysis. Analysis is caused by analysis, yeah.
Disease control ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Man has never controlled fungal disease.
Probably will not be able to control many of them.
So we are managing. You have to use the word managing the disease, not control. Because control word evokes the notion of finality.
ಅದೊಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕಾಸ್ಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದೆ
Analysis, I think they're still finding, and I mean they actually did the whole genome sequencing of Malassezia indica, the species which causes dandruff in the Indian population. But I don't know the recent development in terms of treatment of it. If you go to your dermatologist, probably he gives some kind of treatment, some shampoo or some cream or actually it's the problem of the scalp. It's caused by this yeast Malassezia. Probably future will have some solution. I'm just hopeful. Thank you. Yes.
The last two questions.
Only second, we had discussion on mushroom curry. When you are supplying project with mushroom curry, on consumption, you will for reaction. Otherwise, you know, it's a straight reason. No, because a king from Rome was killed by his wife.
Yes.
Already to the literature.
So each of us consume yeast.
Yes, we will get yeast powder for the baking. It's yeast. Even in beer and all you get yeast powder. Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
The last two questions from this.
Only two?
Yeah.
ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಅದು
Mushroom ಅಲ್ಲ, fungus.
ಅದು ತಿನ್ನಬಹುದು.
Mostly ನಾವು ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಂತೇವೆ.
ಹಾ
ನಾನು ಫಂಗಲ್ ಮೈಸೀಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ತಿನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ
ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ.
ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ.
Mushroom, mycelia fruit. Okay, so we eat only the fruit, not the plant.
Not the mycelial network. ಮತ್ತೆ ತಿನ್ಬೋದು. It's a very specific example. I need to look into the literature and find out. I will give the answer to Sharma.
The cheese is, what it is a cheese, a blue cheese.
Yes, yes.
That can be, it's a mycelium.
It's a mold. It's a penicillium is a mold. What you find, it's a fungus similar to what you find on bread. But it's a different species, and it's a domesticated species of fungus.
But that is edible.
No, the product used which comes out of the treatment of the cheese making. The cheese is edible, not the fungus. Yes. No, moss is not a fungus. Moss is bryophytes. I explained three kinds of fungi. You understand? Mostly mushrooms are eaten, and I'm not sure some